You keep saying you're stuck, but I really don't think that's true. I think you're scared. And that doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest if you're willing to admit it. By now, if you've been listening to this series, you probably noticed a pattern. Episode 1, we talked about honesty, and then boundaries. We talked about strength and survival. We talked about letting go without closure. So naturally, this is gonna be where we land. Fear. Because once you see the truth, once you stop negotiating with yourself, once you realize you don't actually need permission to move on, the next question you have to answer is, why haven't I? Here's the part that people don't like to say out loud. Healing is not just uncomfortable, it's fucking expensive. And I'm not talking about just financially, but also emotionally. It costs relationships that were built on your old self. It costs roles that you play damn good. It costs identities that you have learned to survive with. And sometimes it costs proximity to the people you love. So when people say they're stuck, what they often mean is, I can see the next version of me. And I don't know who will still be here if I become her. That is real. How I know? Because that was me. Fear doesn't always show up as panic. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking, waiting for the, here come the air quotes, right time, staying busy, reopening conversations you already closed, entertaining people you already outgrew. Fear is clever, I tell you. It is. It'll convince you you're being responsible, patient, kind, when really you're just delaying a decision that is inevitable. So let me tell you this with love. You don't stay where you are because you don't know better. You stay because becoming different threatens your sense of belonging. And for a lot of us, our relationships were formed in pain. We was trauma bonding, we were sharing survival, sharing version of ourselves that no longer fit. So healing begins to feel like betrayal, like leaving people behind, like changing the rules without warning. And that guilt will keep you stuck longer than fear ever could. Ask me how I know. But here's the truth that you might need to hear. Outgrowing people doesn't mean you did not love them. It means the relationship cannot grow where you're going. I know y'all keep hearing you can't take them with you. They can't go with you. Yeah. And forcing yourself to stay small to keep others comfortable is a quiet form of self-abandonment. And in 2026, we are done abandoning ourselves. This is where people usually say, but what if I end up alone? And that fear does make sense. But ask yourself this: how alone do you already feel while being misunderstood, overextended, or unseen? Loneliness doesn't always come from being by yourself. I know y'all heard Jill Scott's song. Shout out to Jilly from Philly. That, in that verse in that song she sung, I'm lonely whenever you're around. That shit is real. Sometimes it comes from being surrounded by people who only know an old version of you. Because they don't want to get to know the new version of you. Because then that's going to make them have to reflect and, look within. And they don't want to do that. All right. Get your pen, get your journal, and take your time with this one. Number 1, who might I lose if I fully heal? I didn't say who will. I said who might. Who might I lose if I fully heal? Who are you going to lose? Number 2, what version of me am I afraid to let go of? Number 3, what has staying the same already cost me? What does that cost you? Being the same. Who everybody else wants you to be, who they expect you to be. Who does that cost you? That one matters. Because fear always asks, what if? But healing asks, what is? You are not stuck. You are standing at a doorway. Picture yourself. You're standing at a doorway that requires courage instead of comfort. And that pause you're in, that's not failure. It's fear asking to be acknowledged, not obeyed. If this episode made you uncomfortable, good. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just being asked to choose. You know what I'm about to say. Download it. Sit with it. And when you're ready, come on, stay with me. Because next we're going to talk about what actually sustains change.